What up, guys? It's Banana Owns here, bringing you part 11 of my Skyward Sword Let's Play. And in this episode, we're actually going to continue in the main quest and go to the Elden Volcano area. I really enjoy this area of the game. It's the stereotypical a fire level in a Zelda game. A fire mountain level, to be more precise. But it's a pretty good area. It's really fun. There's a lot to do before you get to this first dungeon, until you get to the second dungeon in this area, which is the Earth Temple, and it's going to be the second dungeon we're gonna go into, and well, it's a pretty cool dungeon. It's not necessarily an Earth dungeon. I would say there's a lot more fire to do with it, but it's a pretty good one. But first, we actually have to get through this area. This part will be all about traveling up to where the temple actually is. So it's going to be fun and exciting, and there's going to be talking to mole creatures, and it's going to be awesome! Yeah! So, let's get started. And I realized that during that last whole, like, minute intro, half of what I said didn't even make sense. Fucking YOLO, am I right, guys? All 5 people that watch this are gonna really enjoy it, though. So this area is a bunch of lava, and you're introduced to bombs in this area, and it's really cool. And it reminds me a lot of I shouldn't say it reminds me a lot of Death Mountain. Just I don't know why. It's just really well done. I would say it's more like a Twilight Princess. It's closer to the Twilight Princess whole Goron mines area with the lava and the traveling up the mountain, and I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's the stereotypical Zelda fire level, but considering that these areas are a lot more linear, there's actually going to be 2 temples located in this area. This first one is obviously the second one, and then the next one is a little bit of ways in the game, and it involves going to another little secret area that is a subset of this area, which is pretty much the formula that all these games follow. Well, that this game follows in dealing with the dungeons. You go back to these main 3 areas at least twice, and then I would say it's really ridiculous because you actually go back to the first dungeon and revisit it an extra time, which I don't know how I really felt about that, but I guess it was okay because they opened up some new areas in the dungeon. Anyway, I gotta wait for this lava to drain in, because I didn't know lava just flows up and down like that because of like a water spout. And this is an introduction of a new mechanic for Zelda games. It's being able to roll bombs instead of throw them, and it's really interesting. And watch me blow up right now. Are you ready for this? Boom! God damn! You think that would like kill Link? To have a bomb flower detonate right in the middle of like a field of bomb flowers. That's not a good time indeed. Anyway, these are some variations on the standard enemies of the game. These are like fire slime. This is a really awkward voiceover, but I don't care. Not enough people watch this for me to really give a fuck. Hopefully I'm decently entertaining by how much this sucks. But I don't know, these enemies are pretty cool. All the fire enemies, each area I would say has its own type of the standard enemies. In the next oh my goodness, I cannot talk today. The Lanayru area, that whole mine area, they have electric keys, and in this one you saw earlier they had fire keys. And they also have electro slime in the area, and this one they have fire slime, obviously. So it's really interesting to mix up the standard enemies with adding the elemental types, and it's not something that's been different in a lot of the other Zelda games, so... But it adds a little bit of variety, I guess, to the other enemy types, which is really welcome. And it's really cool. And as you see, I'm using these bomb flowers right now. You don't get the bomb bag until the next dungeon, which is, well, until the next dungeon, until this upcoming dungeon, which allows you to pick up these bomb flowers and store them in their pouch, which I really enjoy that mechanic, because bombs are free, basically. You just, if you really need them, you can just travel down to the surface, find an area where there's bomb flowers growing, and just pick them up and store them. And it is probably one of the best little mechanics that make this game so great. You don't have to waste your rupees on bombs, which I really enjoy, because in past Zelda games, bombs have cost up the ass. Anyway, I get set on fire and I forget to extinguish myself, but let me just save quickly here. I get pretty, I wouldn't say effed up, but I get pretty messed up in this area here. It's just some of the enemy variety, and I keep falling and everything. But first, let me get this goddess cube right here. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a video down the road where I'm at least like a couple of videos where it's just me getting goddess cubes that I've sent up and just exploring the sky and doing a lot more side quests. But that'll be a little bit down, at least after probably the videos right after I finish the 3rd dungeon, which will be after next week, so in a couple weeks. So it'll be mostly side quest videos. But it's pretty cool. The side quests, I think they're too easy to find in this game, but I really enjoy them because there's actually a lot of them. It's not a Majora's Mask equivalent of the focus, but they're all pretty well done, and some of them have a really good puzzle element too, especially using the day and night cycles and in the Skyloft. Create some interesting situations where you have to be at a specific island, or you have to stay on a ship and sleep, and it's really cool. Like, especially spoiler alert, which will be a little bit later, which the character Beetle that runs the floating shop, you get to go visit him as he goes away, and basically stays on his own private island, which is really cool. And it's funny because he talks like the "thank you" voice, but on the island he just speaks normally, so the whole like persona he puts on when you go in the shop is fake, and it's kind of interesting. It's a really interesting little tidbit if you pay attention to that sort of thing, which kind of also harkens back to the Wind Waker, where you had the special where Beetle acted differently when he wore the mask by the, well, it just depends what area it is, but I mostly remember him by the Great Fish Isle, where he wore the mask and he was kind of different. And he had different personalities, not as much as in this game, but it was present, it's a nice little homage to that sort of thing. Which is, I use that word homage a lot, well, because I'm fancy as fuck. Am I right, guys? It's a good word. It's a good word to make you seem smart, and if you use it properly, which is pretty much every word. You don't want to say anything that you don't know the definition of. This is what I've learned in a class, and especially my AP. Well, back when I was in high school, damn. In my advanced writing classes, it's just, if you shouldn't be using a thesaurus when you write your papers, because you want something to sound like you've written it in your own words. When you use a thesaurus and attach some random, what do you say, some random word to make you sound smarter, or you just change it up and use language that you don't really have mastered, it makes you sound very amateurish, and most of the time it's just better using language you would have, but still maintaining a good thing of reasoning. I didn't think that this would get into essay fucking topics. To essay writing tips in my Zelda Let's Play. Anyway, I'll stop that. School here. I hate this goddamn area. Just the drop down for the skydive, because the skydive mechanics feel like really awkward to me sometimes. I don't know. Every now and then I feel like I have them absolutely mastered, but I fail. See, like I tried at the last second there to go for that ledge with the chest on it, but I just failed, so I just gave up. But this is a cool little cavern area. We're gonna get a brand, well, new to 3D Zelda games. In the 2D Zelda games, what was it? I think probably Minish Cap, where you have like a digging claws. I don't know off the top of my head, but I remember specifically in a 2D Zelda where you had digging claws. Well, you get a 3D equivalent in this game. You get digging claws that allow you to dig up stuff. They're mostly used for acquiring like hearts or getting extra rupees or digging up air vents in this one. Later on, it gets a little bit more complicated because you're able to dig in tunnels, and it's a really interesting puzzle mechanic, especially for a 3D Zelda game. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. Anyway, let me fuck up these moblins right here. I just took out the little leader with the horn because he would keep calling people. He keeps summoning more moblins to his location, which I don't want that. Because as much as I could fight off all these moblins, it gets a little old. It gets a little old, especially like all in one time. See, I really enjoy using the Skyward Strike as a mechanic, especially once they introduce the moblins with the electric little, they're kind of like stun like sticks. They're not really cleavers like they carry, but especially when they introduce the moblins with the stun sticks, the Skyward Strike really helps. In due part because most of those moblins are in areas which are affected by the time crystals. So you just go right outside the area of the time crystal, hit them with a Skyward Strike, and land a finishing blow, and you don't have to deal with them. They're pretty easy. At least that's the strategy I use. It may seem a bit cheap, but hey, what gets the job done? Am I right? Like, that's what you want to do. And anyway, I explore a bit in this little volcano area. Mostly I need some rupees right now because that damn iron shield, that metal shield that I'm wearing right now took almost all my rupees. But don't worry, Link is rolling in money in this game. He just is a rupee magnet. He gets bitches and gets money. Was it fuck bitches get money? That's what Link does in this game. He is so fucking bomb and he's so rich. And Zelda wants his D, which is a pretty good thing, I would say. You know, cute blonde girl. I don't know how I feel like she has like the Hylian ears with the elf. I don't know if I'm like into that sort of thing yet. But I don't know. She's hot. And there you go. There you have it. That was really awkward. Oh well. Oh well, this is an entertaining video. Oh fuck, I'm so lost right now. I get so lost just navigating my way through this little maze area with the fire. I have no idea what they're called, but those fire creatures that hide in the holes, which is just find a bomb flower and roll it. And then you can kill them. They're really easy to defeat. They just serve as temporary roadblocks. See, and then I really enjoy the bomb rolling mechanic because it adds a bit of depth to the whole, well, using bombs in this game. You actually have to decide if you want to throw them, if makes more sense to roll the bombs, if it actually, like, see, I can't describe anything right now. It's really weird. Usually I can talk the BS all the time. But anyway, there's this interesting puzzle that's going to be in the next video where you have to bomb a opening, so a bunch of lava comes out, then you have to roll the bomb over a sandbank and make it fall down. And oh, and in the next video especially, there's a lot of that bomb rolling mechanics, so it's really cool. I really enjoy it. It just makes me feel awesome when I do them right and I get them the first time. Because I noticed there's in past Zelda games, when you would have a bomb puzzle, there was a lot of them where you had to really time it, where you had to like throw the bomb right before it exploded or something in order to get the rock at the perfect timing. In this game, not so much. Almost everything that I have experienced is you just roll the freaking bomb or just toss it, and there's not really too many of those wait for it moments, and where you have to actually have really good timing, which is a small setback. I really enjoyed that because it really tested your knowledge of the game, of like especially like the bomb fuses. But I think the counterbalance to it is the new rolling mechanic, which is really fun and I really enjoy it, so whatever. Anyway, I slide on these areas just to get a little bit more extra stuff. I get some Elden ore, which I probably should talk a bit about the upgrading mechanics in this game. I mentioned them before in a brief passing in another episode, a past episode. But on the right side of that menu that you just saw not too long ago, there are some materials that you can use, and when you use those materials, you can use them to upgrade your items, like your shield, was it your bug catching net, and it's a really cool system because it's not necessary to upgrade them at all, but if you really care and want to experiment and you want to actually hunt down these materials, it just benefits you. It doesn't detract from your experience, it just benefits your experience. I got into it a little bit in my first playthrough. Maybe I will get into it a little bit more. I think the only thing I really upgraded in my first playthrough was the goddess shield, which is the shield that regenerates itself. I think I upgraded that all the way, and it was a pretty badass shield because it regenerated itself, and I really enjoyed that. So it doesn't hurt from the game, it just only adds to it by having that extra crafting mechanic. It's not as advanced in like other games, and like maybe like if I say Skyrim, people are gonna have a shit fit because Skyrim, the crafting mechanics aren't too in depth, but it's not too what's the word? It's not too, well, I'm just say deep again. It's not too deep, but it gets the job done and adds a little bit of extra gameplay. Same thing with the bugs. Like, that's one thing I didn't explore at all in my first playthroughs with the bugs. It seemed really pointless to me to just go around and chasing bugs. It was kind of the same thing for me in Twilight Princess, where everyone was experiencing the fishing, and I just kind of just said whatever. I just did it when I had to. But the bugs, they actually do serve. I learned it too late in the game for me to actually start caring. But the bugs actually do serve a purpose, and you can use them to craft better potions, which is really cool because you can make basically like custom potions that do a lot more healing, and it only helps you, especially in some of the later boss fights. I could say the last boss fight, for instance, is pretty freaking difficult, and I think I would benefit for having more customized potions that increase specific like hearts, increase the amount of hearts you get revived by, and everything like that. And I know I'm just like shooting this shit right now, but I don't know, I'm attempting. I'm trying to get better at this Let's Play thing. It's a learning experience. I'm getting down some of like the recording aspects and how long I should make each video. I'm going between like 10 and 25 minutes at the most. I don't want to have a video that's like a half an hour. Of course, after I say this, I'm going to have a video that's like half an hour. But my attempt is to split this into 6 parts a week, and each one be a manageable watch. Because I plan to release, I try to release in 2 episodes each, 3 days a week. So in each day, perhaps like the most you'll ever get is an hour of footage, but I'm trying to limit it even more. So like maybe the most you get is a half an hour of footage, or like 40 minutes. So it's easily watchable. Like you could space them out over the couple of days and maybe just leave one on as you do some work or something, or do some busy work, to all the 5 people that watch this. But I'm still learning. I'm trying to get better at my voiceovers. I'm really happy with actually the quality of my mic. I'm using an Astro A40 headset with a mix amp, and the mic quality is pretty great. That's one thing I really wanted to do after watching a lot of other Let's Plays, is the mic quality isn't the best, and I think if you have good quality content, then the mic quality obviously isn't that big of an issue. But if you're like me, I need everything I can to get people to actually watch this. So I think a nice sounding mic really just helps me in this case. But I'm trying to get better at the voiceovers and try to be a little bit more entertaining. But it's a difficult skill to learn, basically, especially doing these voiceovers by myself, because I'm having difficulties getting people to come and record, for getting some of my friends to come and record with me. But I really hope that my skills actually get better. I'm striving to. I'm trying to learn. It's just it's a really difficult task, and I think the only way to get better at it is just to keep doing it, and eventually I'll figure out what works. Especially after this week, I plan on promoting this Let's Play a bit more instead of just uploading it to YouTube. I'm probably going to use Reddit as a method, so I'll probably check out our Zelda and see if they like it, or our Let's Play. I feel like our Let's Play has really good constructive criticisms, but I just don't want to get my video just shit on. Because I'm pretty sure something like especially like the first episodes of this Let's Play were really rough. Because I had no idea what I was doing. And I still don't have an idea what I'm doing right now. But hopefully it'll just get better. It'll just get better. I'll probably post these on our Let's Play as well, just to get some feedback and to learn what I should do more. And hopefully that'll turn out decently well, and people won't just shit on them and actually have some really constructive things to say. It's like my my popular video series right now, if you haven't checked it out, is Halo: The Story So Far, which is basically a bulk of my YouTube views for my channel comes from that video series. I think, what is it, like 16 of my 18,000 views or something like that come from that video series. But I posted that onto our Halo and got a really great response. Of course, I had some errors in it that I fixed using the video annotations, and I got some really good feedback. But it turned out really well, so I'm hoping if I post my Let's Plays and start promoting more, I'll get at least some good feedback. And not just people I don't want to say haters, because I don't want to sound like Justin Bieber, but hopefully I just get people that actually point out valid criticisms and not just want to shit on, like, oh, you fucking suck, you faggot, or something like that. I want to avoid that, but I realize it's going to happen eventually. Maybe not right now, considering these videos don't have a lot of views, but in the future, I really hope I can try to get some constructive criticism. So if you watch these videos, by the way, you don't have to comment in them, but maybe send me a private message suggesting some things I can work on, especially like regarding the voiceovers. So I feel like gameplay wise and editing and rendering out, everything's turning out fine. My audio, at least my mic quality, not the quality of my voiceover, but the mic quality is pretty good. So maybe if you have any suggestions or tips or constructive criticism for these voiceovers, I would really appreciate that, because I am still learning this, and to be honest, I don't have a goddamn clue what I'm doing. But I'm hoping it's been decently entertaining so far, and I hope you guys will stick with me as I continue through this journey of this game, which I really enjoy, as you guys can tell, which I feel like really helps me in this first one. I don't think I could play a game, like a bad game, like the Game Grumps right now. I really enjoy their video series right now. They've been doing Sonic 06 right now, which is a fucking terrible game. But I don't think I have the necessarily talent, what's the right word, talent, where I could play a very bad video game like that and actually be funny and come up with it. I think I need to play something I really enjoy right now to get some enthusiasm for these projects, and hopefully that enthusiasm will lead me into making better videos, which is I really hope for. Anyway, these two mole creatures are talking about a key, which is, this whole segment is a big pain in the ass, because they split up the key to this temple, and then they split it up into 5 pieces, and guess who has to find those 5 pieces? Link does. And it of course takes a bit of time, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but with dowsing, anything is possible. Well, anyway, I think that will conclude well, anyway, that will conclude this part of the Let's Play, and next time we're gonna find some keys. So thanks for watching, and stay with me on this. I know it's not the most exciting thing ever, it's not the best, but I do appreciate the views. So thank you guys.
The best you know how